This bill should give, right, we should clap for that. This bill will give over 72,000 first responders and survivors in New York City and around the country long overdue peace of mind, knowing that they will have access to the vital health care and support they need. So I want to thank the New York congressional delegation, our first responders, those who responded to the horrific tragedy of 9/11 and terror attack deserve to be treated well, and that is what this bill has been asking for, and I'm glad to see it finally there. So I want to thank the congressional delegation of New York for championing this effort and for really being strong voice on behalf of our city. On the bitter end, today I am extremely heartbroken. It is to me unconscionable that congressional Republicans refused to include in the year-end spending bill meaningful provisions to allow Puerto Rico to restructure its debt. This is something that is very personal to me. My mother continues to live on the island. There are many of us that have direct links, but this should be of concern to every single person. This bill, or including this provision in the omnibus bill, would not have cost taxpayers a dime, but could have helped solve what is rapidly disintegrating into humanitarian crisis. Basic services are being denied. Healthcare system is about to collapse. Doctors are fleeing the island. That impacts every Puerto Rican, every US citizen, the 3.5 million that live on the island. And I want to be clear about something that some may consider controversial. The reality is that the current territorial status of the island was not of our doing. Yet, 3.5 million US citizens are being denied equal treatment, are being penalized for territorial status that they had nothing to do with. It's unconscionable. So I want to thank this council. I want to thank you. Gracias to my colegas. We voted on 3 resolutions calling on Congress to face head-on this crisis. There were thousands of calls made. There were people that lobbied in Washington. This is so dire that it cannot continue to be ignored. I want to thank the leadership of Speaker Pelosi, the New York congressional delegation, especially Senators Schumer and Gillibrand, as well as Congress members Nidia Velázquez and Jose Serrano. Let me say, you know, the governor of Puerto Rico clearly has said there's a $900 million bill that is due January 1st that the island cannot pay unless more sacrifices, more austerity, which has already been implemented. Services being denied to these US citizens. No more austerity can be incurred. He cannot pay $900 million in debt as of January 1st. This is very real, and I hope that the governor has the courage not to make that debt payment, because the hedge funds are asking for too much. So this is not the end of the fight. We're organized, and ultimately we will prevail. What we are asking for is fairness and a chance to restructure the debt so that the island can get back on its feet. I will not abandon Puerto Rico. I thank you all for your support. Many of us will not abandon our brothers and sisters, our parents, our mothers, our fathers in the time of their need. This is not acceptable. And it is not an abstract concept. It is very real. People are suffering, and people will continue to suffer. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And maybe we needed to get to that point to really understand how dire the situation will be. So I want to thank you all again for your support, but it is something that really breaks my heart today. The last thing also, just want to say that, turning to kind of another issue, this is the last stated meeting of the year, and I know that we are going to be saying goodbye to a couple of people.